Hola, bom dia. I'm Kathleen.
And I'm Ross, and thank you for tuning in to our continuing adventure, what it's like to live here in Portugal, where we share our experiences and hope that you have a better one.
So today we are going to share with you what we just did. We spent 3 days in Coimbra.
And it was great. But before we get into that, we want to make sure to remind any of you, if you're taking a scouting trip, doing a scouting trip here to Portugal, in particular to Porto, take a look at our experience that's called
Alegria de Viver.
That's in the description below.
And also,
go ahead.
We have a 1 hour video chat, and we can answer questions and help you out if you're considering a scouting trip here.
Or even just moving here, or even just visiting. We'll help you out with that. So thanks again for tuning in, and remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. We always appreciate that.
So it's really fun to always visit a new place. And one thing we do is we also include our perspective on what it would be like to live there.
So when we visit, we look at things such as walkability. We haven't owned a car since 2011, so walking to things is really important. We look at transportation. We look at weather. We look at housing. We look at people. We look at the food. There's many things that we look at. We're going to go through each one of those in the following.
So Coimbra has incredible old culture and character. And I was thinking about what was real special about Coimbra, and I think it's the university. There are so many students there. It's vibrant. It's just like alive in the downtown area. It just felt more exciting in this old city.
Mm-hmm. Walkability, that is extremely important to us. Here in Porto, everything that we do on a daily basis is in less than a 15-minute walk and a relatively flat walk. In Coimbra, if you're not going to own a car, you're going to have to be prepared to walk up and down hills. Now, while we were there for the 3 days, some of it not too bad, but there were several places that it was quite a climb or quite a decline. If you're going to go up, you know you're going to come down and vice versa. So walkability is a little tough in Coimbra.
Well, there were buses.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and of course Bolt.
Yes,
but
you are able to get around that
right
way.
You can get around, but boy, it's a lot of work to get around and see all the stuff you want to see.
But as far as walking around, there's so many tiny little curvy streets that have all these little shops and restaurants. So that's an adventure. But if you're going to live there on a daily basis, knowing where the locations of things are when you're looking for a place to live is going to be very important, because if you're high up on a hill and everything's down below, that is going to be really tricky. So research would be very important if you really are deciding to say, hey, Coimbra is the place we want to land. Make sure that you land in a place that you're not going to be huffing and puffing all right. Remember, we're in our 70s. So going up and down can be a little bit, after a while, it's like, man, I'm tired of this.
We were thinking that a lot of people have cars there.
Yeah.
But then not all the places have parking. So that would be the other issue. So can I go on to transportation?
Well, I was just going to mention, when you talk about cars, if you're not really comfortable with a stick shift, you're going to really need to be, because on these hills, you're stopped at the top or right. It can be challenging. So if you really do need to own a car and you want to live in Coimbra, look at getting an automatic.
Yeah, for sure. If you can get one anyway. Yes. Well, I was going to talk about transportation. Okay, so we rode the train down from Porto, and we're kind of spoiled. We realize.
Yes, we're spoiled.
We realize that we live so close to the metro, and then the metro takes us to either train station, Campanha or São Bento, and it's just easy breezy. Once we've learned it, it's very, very convenient where we are. To go out into other places, And so there you ride the train, which is most comfortable and awesome, and you get off at the station.
Coimbra B.
Well, there used to be an A, but
Yeah.
it's closed.
Yeah.
So the deal is that you get out, and there are little signs with arrows pointing towards walking across a little footbridge and this and that to go to a bus that you're trusting is going to take you to the city center.
Yeah, this is a little questionable because right now they're doing a whole bunch of construction in Coimbra, like around the train station. Other parts of the city, right by where we were staying, they're redoing the whole Praça roadway and everything. It's going to be awesome. But with the train station, it's still out of town a little bit. Coimbra B, that's the main station now. And they at one time had a train shuttle going into town. Not sure if that's going to be operating again. But even if you live there, as we looked at it, it's not the easiest place to walk to. So you'd probably either have to take a bus, take your car and park it there, or hire, Bolt,
Yeah,
which is the same as Uber.
it's not super convenient.
So that was one of the
It's
things
doable, but not convenient.
we looked at, as
Right.
far as the train convenience.
Now, I
Go
was going
ahead.
to say, of course, there are city buses,
Yes.
and that's a new experience to learn because if you have your phone and you're willing to do directions, you can see which buses you probably have to take to get to where you need to go.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's easier to take a Bolt
Yeah.
because you can just put in your address where you wanted to go, like your Airbnb or your hotel,
Yeah.
and that's not too hard. But getting around, I don't know. There's no metro. I mean, there's no.
But
There's
the
the
bus
buses,
the
metro
bus system
buses.
is quite extensive, and
Yeah.
there's a couple of links in the description below.
There were
But-
some electric shuttles on that main
Well,
pseudo pedestrian
Yeah,
street.
well, the whole bus system, they're revamping it, and a majority of their buses are electric. And they do have smaller shuttles, like Kathleen said, but then they have, larger buses. We happened to hop on one to get up to the university, and that's what was a whole other circumstance, but
Yeah.
but we made it.
Yeah.
So
in
go
in
ahead.
the next 5 years, I think it's going to be fabulous
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about the train thing though, because I can't imagine that they're going to build one closer in town.
Right.
But anyway, it's all workable.
For us, the convenience of being in Porto is that we do have the trains available that go anywhere, and also the airport is just a 20-minute car ride away.
Yeah.
If you choose Coimbra, you're either going to be taking the train up to Porto and then transferring to get over to the airport, or going down to Lisbon. And so that's just something to
It's just
check with
another thing
yourself.
to
If
think
you
about.
plan on hopping around in Europe and you're going to take the plane, fly, that will have to enter into your travel calculations.
Right.
One other thing about the trains here in Portugal, it's the Comboios Portugal. They are great. They're comfortable, fun to ride. And if you're a senior, like we are, over the age of 65, it's half price.
Yeah,
All day, every day.
that's great.
What a benefit, and which we greatly appreciate.
So we always like to check out what the local specialties are
Yeah.
in the land of pastries and in the land of prato principal when we entrees. Okay, so we found out that they are very proud of their pastries that they make. And we had to try, of course, and that's really, really wonderful. They make something called a Santa Clara
It's called Pastel Santa Clara.
and then something called a tentugal.
Tentagal.
It
sounds like
tentacle.
weird,
It's weird, but
But-
anyway, it's great. It was really good. Okay, so the other food, wow, we had to try some of this stuff. One thing was they like to cook goat and bake a young goat.
Let me
So
say something.
cabrito and
Cabrito.
chanfana.
Just a note. When we really look at traditional Portuguese, so we search out the restaurants that have Portuguese cooking.
Yeah, we do.
Go ahead.
Because we love it. We
Yeah,
feel it.
yeah.
We know how to cook American at home. We like to try their stuff. And so the chanfana we tried.
Oh, that was
We
good.
tried the cabrito.
Yes.
We also had a tasting menu at one restaurant, and that was pretty awesome. But one of the things that just was crazy is ossos,
Oh, that was so good.
which is bones. They're like pork bones, like pork neck bones, a big bowl of them. And it's like, well, knowing how he likes that kind
I
of
could chew on
thing.
bones.
Yeah, he likes, but usually it's either a steak bone or a
Chicken bone.
chicken or pork chop bone. These are like a bowl of, like, I guess they were neck bones or
I
whatever,
don't know, but
with
it was,
some meat on there, of course.
yeah,
And it's like, we're gonna try that. That is like nothing we've ever had before.
right.
And so we went, and the place lines up. There's 7 tables in this restaurant, and we were there.
We were,
Actually, we're there at 12:15, and they already had a line going.
we got to go in first,
Yeah,
and they
not
have
first,
little wooden stools,
7th.
and they're very friendly. We had a great time. Our server, Joao,
Very fun.
he was a lot of fun, and we connected with several other couples in the room. In fact, one of the couples were new subscribers while we were talking to them.
So what an experience.
Sorry.
And yes, it's fun to try those places, even though in your head you think, I've never had that. I don't know if I want to go spend money for that. It was worth it. It was great.
And we also, we noticed and looked around that there's a lot of ethnic food in Coimbra as well. There was Korean, Thai, I think,
Thai,
Ukrainian,
Chinese, Ukrainian,
lots of pizza places.
some Latin places.
Domino's Pizzas was there.
Yeah,
McDonald's, Burger King.
Just like, yeah, it's a bigger city. They have most everything, but yeah.
The food scene was really good, and just along, one of the main walkways, Ferreira, I think it's Ferreira, Rua Ferreira. I'll put that. It's also in the notes. Lots of cafes. It's a pedestrian mainly street, and you can sit there and watch people go by, listen to some of the musicians or the university students singing.
Yeah, the university kids.
And I love going anywhere when I can get 2 full copas, 2 full glasses of wine for €3.60. So that's about $4.
That was
$2 each.
Yes.
I mean, talk about
Yes.
living life and
Yeah,
having
it's really
fun.
fun.
There's not much more fun than that.
Yes, it's really fun, and we love the culture of that cafe culture, just sitting and watching and enjoying. One more thing about the food, of course, there's your regular Portuguese grocery chains, Pingo Doce and Continent,
Yeah.
around. But one thing that was really, we had to go in, is the municipal mercado. It's two stories of market, two stories of stalls, and they have everything. I've never seen so many tell you places, which is butchers.
Yeah.
So much, and many fruterias.
We went in the morning, and I just saw person after person greeting each other, that they knew each other. It was definitely people that shop there all the time. Like Kathleen was saying, this was the market that locals really go to. So if you do visit Coimbra and you want to go to the municipal mercado, go in the morning, weekday.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Go in the morning and the weekday. Another topic, of course, is healthcare. And we were visiting Coimbra, and we didn't really go around looking at hospitals and clinics and everything. But we know they're there. There are private hospitals there. There are public hospitals. There are private clinics, public clinics. The SNS is there. And there is good coverage. But the thing to check for sure is that when you get your private insurance, just check to see how, if you were going to live in Coimbra, how your private insurance will cover you there, what hospital you would go to, what clinics they have. For instance, we have Medish private insurance, and with them we have the dental program. I checked on we have a dental clinic right down the street from us that we go to. In Coimbra, Medish does not have their own Medish Clinica. However, they are set up to have you go to other dental clinics. So that would be just a little bit of an adjustment. So the advice is, when you look at getting private medical insurance, no matter where you go, if it's a smaller town, make sure to check to see how your coverage takes care of you in that environment.
Yeah, good idea. So regarding weather, I don't think that it's a whole lot different than Porto, but one of the things is that they're not on the coast, they're inland. And I do know that it gets way warmer there in the summer than here, because we have, coastal breezes and things like that. We do get heat, but nothing
Yeah.
like what they get. I don't know about rainfall. I think that we all pretty much get the same kind
I
of
think
rain.
it's similar. So
Yeah.
if you decide to move to Coimbra, I would strongly suggest that your accommodations have air conditioning. If you're going to visit there as a tourist in the middle of the summer, make sure your room, your accommodations have air
Oh
conditioning.
yeah. So just like in all the rest of Portugal,
Yeah.
in Coimbra, we were reminded that all you have to do really, and it's not that difficult, is just to be really friendly and not worry about if you're going to be perceived as tourist or this or that or an American, blah, blah. It's just being friendly, and you will see the genuine connection just happens.
And one other thing with that, if you find a place you like a little cafe like we did, where we got our pastel de Santa Clara and
And the
Tunagal or whatever it was called.
Tantugal.
We went there 2 or 3 times. And the second time, and definitely the third time, we were like locals. The woman that served us, she saw us and she lit up, and it was like big smile,
It
and she
was
came over to
very
the table.
fun. It's very
And
fun.
and 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 it's not about tipping. They're not they're not paying attention to you because you gave them a big tip or they're expecting a tip. It's genuine. They're happy that you're coming to their place again. So just if you find a place, go to it 2 or 3 times, and guess what? You'll be recognized. And that is so much fun. What an experience.
With this recent experience of visiting Coimbra, we always talk about, could we live there? And for me, there would be no way that I would want to live there. Visit, absolutely. Beautiful place to visit. And there's several reasons why, but the first reason has to do with the hills and the walking and the feeling like you almost have to have a car to have freedom, kind of.
Yeah, and I think the key reason for that is there's definitely lots to see. There's all the university attractions to go to, the Baroque Library, the Palace.
Oh,
There's
that chapel was
the chapel was
beautiful.
beautiful. There's plenty. There's the University Park to go to. The park Santa Clara that was by us. It was great, and you can only do so many touristy things, but looking at what your life is going to be like on a daily basis, going to the grocery store, going to the butcher shop, um, that is what will determine your your enjoyment level of living in Coimbra or anywhere. So for us,
Yeah.
we walk every day to everything we do. And if we had to go up and down hills,
No,
that is
no,
not going to work.
no. Great
So,
place to visit.
so Coimbra for us, it would be that would keep us from living there, the walkability, and also the train transportation
That train
connection,
thing, yeah,
connection to the airport
yeah,
and other smaller
yeah.
towns. Thank you again for tuning into our continuing adventure, what it's like to live here in Portugal. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to email us at ourcontinuingadventure@gmail.com. And as we always ask, please like, share, subscribe, comment. Uh, Go down to the description below, see the document on Coimbra about all the things we've talked about with some other links there, and also all the other things we offer about moving here or visiting Portugal. As Kathleen mentioned before, we're available for a whole afternoon with our Alegria de Viver experience, or schedule a 1 hour video chat with us. We'd be happy to talk to you. So I think we've covered everything today, but we haven't done one thing yet, and that's to ask you, what
What adventure
adventure
are
are
you
you
on
on
today?
today?